We're back in North London today, and there's plenty of history at this football club as Harrow Borough take on high-flying Margate. Welcome to Matchday 34. It's a battle of two teams at opposite ends of the Bostik Premier Division table, with Margate in 4th position and looking towards promotion. Of course, they were relegated last year, and as for Harrow Borough, in 15th at the moment, but they are on good form. Alongside me for today's game is Peter Augustine and Anthony Ferguson. Let's take a look at the two teams, and for the home side, they'll be looking to Ryan Moss, the former Kingstonian striker, to score the goals, I'm sure, for them. And for today's visiting team, Margate, recent signing Sam Blackman is in their midfield, and of course Franny Colling, prolific at this level and higher, will be looking to add to his tally. Should also mention the experience of Lenny Pidgley in Margate's goal today. And it's one of those grounds that's surrounded by houses either side, and I'm sure that played a part in the rather late attendance of many of the spectators living close by. And suddenly Margate are away, and this could be the first opportunity of the game. Chidozie goes down, referee points to the penalty spot, and it is going to be an early opportunity for Margate. He went down, then there was a moment's pause as the referee just gave himself some time, and he pointed to the spot, and much to the dislike of many of those players wearing red.
Well, I tell you, Chidozie got in there pretty quickly. That was a second. It's only been the game's only been going on for a couple of minutes, and to be quite honest, Chidozie got in twice. You know, behind their back four in this early exchanges.
And it will be the number 9 for Margate who's placed the ball down. Keeper back in his goal. Chidozie to give Margate the lead. Steps up and slides the ball into the corner. Calm, cool, composed, and Margate are 1-0 up.
So earlier I didn't say that they look rather relaxed, Harrow Borough. I think it's been 2 mistakes that's led to that goal. The first one obviously where the ball's gone under the defender's foot, but the second one, all the defender maybe needed to do was to stand up and just see where Chidozie goes, and not necessarily get so tight at that point because the goalkeeper had the area covered.
The 2 centre-backs for Harrow Borough look a little bit shaky, even at this early stage. And Chidozie's causing them a little bit of a problem.
I'm sure they take anyway back into the game at the moment. It's always frustrating when you're at home and you go 1 behind so early. The floodlights have come on here. Shows you what kind of dull day it is. And the free kick goes into the box, and it's now bounced around on the edge of the box, and it's going to be Harrow Borough that might have an opportunity to play it in. Maybe the first strike on goal, and it is the first strike on the Margate goal, and it came from Preddy, the skipper. It will be a throw to Harrow, and they can perhaps get it down, and they do. The feet of Banya, who's been quite impressive and probably the most impressive player on that Harrow Borough side so far. He's prepared to get forward, and again Banya goes forward, and again he wins the free kick. It's the 3rd free kick that Banya's won already, so clearly he's going to be a threat if they can get him on the ball. And it's not in a shooting position, it's down on this near side as we look, and it's going to be put in by Cumberbatch. He does deliver the ball into the box, and it almost got onto the head there of one of the Harrow players in red. Can they put pressure on this Margate goal? In it comes to the box and flicks off a Margate head, but Harrow will pick it up again, and this time it will be McLeod that can drop this ball into the box, and it drops onto a Margate head, and now they can come away, and Chidozie's onside if they can play him through. He's in his own half, and Chidozie can go through. What can he do? He's going to be in on goal here. Chidozie, can he make it 2 on his right foot? Looks for the dink, and it goes over the bar. Really good opportunity. Composure from Chidozie just to take that ball onto his right foot, and then he went for the ambitious lob that just drops over the bar.
I think you said composure, but if he actually hits that low and hard, I think he stands more chance, because the way the goalkeeper was set, I think he stood more chance of, hitting the target and possibly giving the goalkeeper a problem if he hits it low and hard there.
Yeah, real opportunity to double his tally and used his pace again to get in behind, and that ball was on. We saw that from a long way off, and Harrow really need to be aware of Chidozi's pace if they're going to push forward. And they come forward again now, and Ryan Moss picks the ball up into the box, maybe an opportunity for the home side, and it was a tame effort that George Moore hit in the end, straight into the hands of Lenny Pidgley, but much better from Harrow as they came forward. And Brian has stepped over this free kick now. He said to Cumberbatch, you've had a few, and now it's in a shooting position. I'm going to step up and take this one. And it would be a really good effort to score from here, but it is a shooting position, and Brian steps up. He plays a ball inside, and it's gone to the left back. It comes all the way across the goal, and perhaps a chance to shoot. Cumberbatch, he's going to get it. Cumberbatch goes low and hard across it, still bouncing around in the box, and Margate still can't clear it, and eventually they do. And it was a well-worked free kick straight off the training ground, and in the end, Brian just played it to Banya there, who had a perfect opportunity to cross the ball. We all thought he was going to shoot.
I think Banya's shown his worth there. He's quick, he's lively. Chidozi was just foul there yet again. They're trying to manhandle him because they know they don't want the ball to go in behind them.
You see, years ago, we'd have said to the centre-backs, when you're playing against a forward with the pace and speed of Chidozi, you might have to give him something what we used to call a reducer. But you generally do that quite early. You wouldn't wait for him to punish you first. And I'm wondering now if the centre-backs are thinking, we may need to change tact a little bit. And I've noticed the last few minutes that they are starting to get a little bit tighter to him. But still, no one really physically saying, well, I'm going to mark him.
There could be a problem here. This could be a red card. It was an elbow on the Margate player, and I can't quite see which Harrow Borough player it was, but I'd be really surprised if the referee isn't going to dish out a red card here. Even from this distance, you could see that was an elbow, and I think that Moore could be in real trouble here. Referee goes to his back pocket. It is a red card, and in fact, it's the number 8, it's Mark McLeod, and even from this distance you could see quite clearly he swung an elbow and the Margate player still on the floor, and I don't think there was any doubt that the referee was going to reach for the red card. And what a stupid decision that he's just made there for his team.
Just your team's up against it, you need everybody in the park, you're playing against one of the top 4 sides, and you go and do something as silly as that. I think it's a hard afternoon has just got even harder for Harrow Borough.
Is that the only reason? Is that the only reason that they say it's harder to play against 10 men? The shape is better, effectively, when you go down to 10 men.
I think it's about mentality.
And Margate are in here. This could be real problems. They don't want to go 2-0 down before half-time. Hazeman comes forward on his left foot. Hazeman shoots, and it's collected by Minto. It was straight into the midriff of the keeper there. Steve Watt and the Margate coaches know exactly how to get the best out of him. Harrow coming forward now, chance to get the ball in the box, and it will come back to Cumberbatch, will it? No, it's going to fall, and it goes all the way across the goal, and it was George Moore who came forward and took the ball off of Cumberbatch's feet onto his right foot, 25 yards out, and he drove it across the goal, and it wasn't too far wide. And as Pete said, they're starting to win some of these second balls, and again, their pressure on the ball this time from George Moore. Every player in red at the moment seems to be raising their game, and Moore wins it back again and plays it in towards Cumberbatch. And now another opportunity, this time for Cabba to run at the Margate defence into the box. Cabba tries to dink it up and perhaps should have run a little bit more with it, and Margate can clear. But again, this time it's Banya who wins the ball, and Harrow really on top of this game at the moment. If they can get a goal right now, may go into half-time with some confidence. Again, Cabba running, dinks the ball up. This time it's a lovely dink up, and it should have been much better there. Came in, really good cross, and they should have done so much better with that header. Margate can come forward, and it goes across towards Martin. A lovely ball from Franny Collin, and there was me saying that he wasn't at his best sitting in the 10 role, and that's going to be a foul, is it? No, referee not even entertaining the idea. Martin crosses it in towards Franny Collin. Keeper didn't call for it, or it wasn't heard because they tried to clear it, and now Chidozie picks it up. This could be dangerous. In towards Franny Collin. Surely a goal. It is going to be the second goal of the game, and it's scored by Kane Haseman. Calm, cool, composed, deflected shot from the edge of the box.
I mean, we're looking at the pitch and we're thinking, wow, that central midfield number 4 type area for Harrow Borough or number 10 for Margate just seems to be ginormous and actually unbelievable, really, at this level of football, because whoever controls that space surely will control the game.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
I don't think we can underestimate the impact of the pitch on people's legs. There's a couple of crosses that have come in and clearances that have been very, very weak, which suggests that, the players are getting slightly tired and leg weary, and that's what's causing some of the errors.
Yeah, it was really close from the corner, just whipped in and seemed to go through everybody across the 6-yard box and almost across the goal line, but didn't go into the net, and Harrow remain 2-0 down as we're into the 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. And I'm sure Margate will be looking to a fast start to this half, as they did in the first half. In it goes towards Chidozie, who's been really lively. Haseman picks it up. This is a real opportunity now to Franny Collin. 3 for Margate inside the opening few minutes of this second half. Again, it was Chidozie, Haseman and Franny Collin involved, and the experienced Margate striker making no mistake with a finish into the bottom corner.
Well, this could end up anything really now. It's a goal at the start of the first half, goal at the start of the second half, and I really thought that it needed to be that the first goal needed to be scored by Harrow Borough for them to have any chance of getting back into this. I think it's good night for them now.
Yep, I think that composure that we talked about and concentration from Margate, they've come out and said, look, we're going to put this game to bed, and that's exactly what they've done. 3-0 to Margate.
Yeah, you have to say the combination of Haseman, Chidozie and Collin really strong for Margate. Opportunity perhaps for Harrow Borough to have a strike here, and it fell to Cumberbatch, who did take the shot on. It wasn't a million miles wide, but it was never troubling Lenny Pidgley in the goal. And Burgess Hill 1-0 up at Tonbridge Angels, a tough place to go, and almost a mix-up in the Harrow defence, leading to another opportunity for the visitors. Martin picks up the ball. A lovely skill from Martin, been really impressive on his left foot, couldn't quite finish the job off. It's going to be a shot, and it's a great save. Brilliant shot, superb effort from Thomas Winter, who just ran onto that ball after Martin had done the work, tried to dink it over the keeper, and it was palmed for the corner.
Great bit of skill. David Martin, I told you, I think he's been outstanding in terms of his discipline and the way he's kept the shape, but there he showed a turn of pace and some top quality skill to deliver the pass, which, as I said, is a great save from the goalkeeper. I think the sending off definitely has had an impact on that, and had it been 11v11, there would have been a much more competitive game, which is a shame really for the Harrow Borough players and their supporters. But
ball over the top towards Martin. What can he do? Martin goes all the way across Chidozie, and it's going to be another one for Margate. A long ball over the top was met by Martin, who's been superb this afternoon, and he laid it across into the path of Chidozie, and he wasn't going to miss from the 6-yard box. 4-0 to Margate.
Again, it's a ball over the top that's caught at the back three again, and it's like the centre back didn't read it, and got totally caught out of position, But looking at even as they're lining back up for the kickoff, there was about 4 or 5 Harrow players who were just standing there watching it. They just went to sleep.
Harrow have the ball back again, and there's just a little bit of a dejection in this Harrow side. You see when they pick the ball up, nobody really wants to do anything, although that's great play from Banyu. He's definitely the man of the match for the Harrow team. Onto his left foot again, Banyu. What can he do? Dinks the ball up. It needs to be defended. It's headed out by Friend.
Fair play to Harrow. They've actually kept going. I thought they could have really thrown the towel in, but they didn't. So, you got to give them some plaudits there.
Kit man has got a little bit of work to do to turn it round in 48 hours. And it's going to go through to Chidozie. Can he complete his hat-trick here? Chidozie, good save.
Oh, good save.
Denied him the hat-trick. Melvin Minter. Really good save from the keeper. Just when you thought Chidozie was going to score his hat-trick, keeper came out, spread himself, and delightful save. And again, Margate come forward, and Chidozie trying to stay on side, and sure how he'd love to get his hat-trick, and it's going to go out wide towards Jay May. What can he do? In on his right foot, May dinks it in. This could be a chance. Maybe Chidozie was in the middle and he just got blocked, and you saw the run of the number 9 there for Margate across the defender. He just hoped that Aaron Simpson could put it his way. To be fair, it was a really good block.
So I suppose the question is, what was the starting shape in terms of the defensive strategy correct in terms of marking space rather than man marking, the right way to start the game against such a very quick forward as we can see Breckton in now?
And now Margate come forward once again, digs it over the keeper, and it just goes wide and it stays on, I think, is it? No, it's gone off the pitch, and it was a lovely deep attempt from Jay May, and I think the keeper has just touched that one to the side, and if he wouldn't have got that touch on it, Minter, it would have gone in. That would have really capped off the afternoon for Margate. 45 minutes and 40 seconds played. Kicked off a little bit late in the second half. In it comes, and it's been out by Pidgley, and it was a really poor piece of goalkeeping actually that could have allowed Harrow to get themselves on the scoreline. Brightlingsea Regent equalised in the 90th minute as well, but Dorking Wanderers have now gone ahead again in the 91st minute in that game, so plenty of late goals in and around the Premier Division. It's Chidozie, left foot, great shot and a fantastic save. Again, denying Chidozie his hat-trick. Melvin Minter, and I'm sure Chidozie is thinking, can't you just let me have the third goal this afternoon? It was on his left foot, edge of the box, and it was a great effort.
Very clean strike. Got, like Peter said earlier about Purchase, he connected with that, and the keeper really didn't know what to do, so he literally just threw his arms up and managed to push it over the bar, which I thought was a good reaction in the end.
And the referee does blow the full-time whistle. We've seen plenty of goals this afternoon in North London. It was a really one-sided game in the end, in which Margate made their mark inside the first 3 minutes from the penalty spot. Chidozie giving the visitors the lead. The game wasn't helped by the sending off for McLeod, really needless sending off from his elbow, and it was Margate that took full advantage. They doubled their lead by Kane Haseman. They got 2 more in the second half. Chidozie couldn't get his hat-trick, but he was the man of the match. A fine performance from him and the whole of the Margate team. They go on to their game on Monday against Kingstonian in fine winning form. It's finished here. Harrow Borough 0, Margate 4.
Harrows are always a difficult place to come, particularly this time of year, and we knew what we'd be in for today. We had to start right and had to match their work rate and intensity, particularly going forward. They're a good side going forward, and we did, and got off to the perfect start and was able to build from there. And now look, coming away from a place like this to win 4-0, keep a clean sheet, is a great performance all round, and it's proud of the boys today, and hopefully we can continue this run.
I think there was a couple of big decisions that went against us today, if I was to be honest. I thought, first half, we played very well, albeit I was really disappointed with the second goal. It was a bad mistake. But for me, the first goal is not a pen. I'd like to see it again, but for me, it's not a pen. Not one player has appealed for it. The referee then played on and brought it back and gave a penalty, to everyone's amazement. And then the sending off for me, our midfielder has moved his arm across, and I think he's caught him with his elbow. He hasn't properly smashed him in the face off the ball or anything like that. I think he's just accidentally caught him when he's put his arm up. Again, it's right in front of their bench. Not one person's got up and they've said anything. All their players going running over to him. The referee then comes over and produces a red card. I don't even know if he actually saw it, but I thought his performance first half was absolutely dreadful, the referee. There was 4 or 5 fouls they've done, didn't say a word to it. Anything we've done, we seem to get punished for it. So for me, 2 massive decisions that ultimately have gone on to lose us the game. No complaint second half. They murdered the second half, but first half, that's 2 big decisions that have gone against us.
January's always a month people say that can make or break your seasons in January, and obviously we had a tricky Christmas period. But again, we were a lot of injuries, a lot of players out, so we were due a tricky patch, if you like. But we've come out the other end, and we've done it not against sides that you'd expect us to do. We've done it against some top sides, and we've beaten sides at the top of the league in Dulwich, and we got results at Billericay. And so I've got a side in there in the big games. They will perform. We've proved that in the season. Teams that's up and around playoffs, we've got a good return of points from, and we've let ourselves down in the course of the season in games we maybe should have not have lost. But we always find a way to win. And we've got a team of dressing rooms there of players that have won promotions, I've been part of successful sides, and it's that mentality you need coming into the end of the season that really shines through, and I think you saw that out today.
We've been very up and down this year, but we probably are where we are in the league, and probably where budget-wise we'd expect to be, because there's some sides in here that are really punching, Margate being one of them. But the last 2 results have been good. We played very well. So the main thing is now how we bounce back from that, because what we've done this year, we've won 2 or 3 on the trot, and then we've gone and lost 4 on the trot. We can't afford to do that this time. We've only sort of 15 games to go. So the next couple of games for us are massive. We've got to bounce back and pick points up as quick as we can.
4 goals in our feature game and plenty of other goals around the Bostik Premier Division this afternoon. And we start our roundup with Tooting and Mitcham against Billericay Town. biggest win in the Bostik Premier Division comes as Billericay Town beat bottom side Tooting and Mitcham 6-2. Wins also for Merstham, Kingstonian and Dorking Wanderers in the bottom half of the table, but most importantly Burgess Hill Town with a 1-0 win that sees them off the bottom of the table. A big game at the top of the Bostik North saw Bowes and Pitsea go down 1-0 to Potters Bar Town. And at the bottom, defeats for Norwich United and Romford will be comfort for Cheshunt, who managed a 2-1 victory. Cray Wanderers couldn't capitalise on Lewis's draw as they remain 2 points behind the league leaders. The biggest result of the day coming as Whiteleaf beat East Grinstead Town 8-1. It was about as one-sided as we've seen it all season, and I'm sure Harrow will be hoping for much better next time out. As for Margate, results went their way today with Hendon equalising against Folkestone Invicta, and it's another playoff chasing contender that we see next as Folkestone take on Brightlingsea Regent next Saturday.